What you know you can't explain. But you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong. You don't know what it is, but it's there. Like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. Experience the awakening. Brilliant anonymous researchers. Patriots, join us in the Patriot Army. Trust the plan, pain coming. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. RedStateTalkRadio.com, Brighteon.tv, Rumble.com/MG Show. The end won't be for everyone. That choice to know will be yours. Where we go one, we go all. Fight, 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 and fight we will. We fight every day right here on the MG Show. Yeah. Welcome to the MG Show. We're gonna talk like this, so if you listen to us at 2 speed, we sound normal. Shady Grip, welcome to the show.
Man, that would take a long time to get through what we have to say today.
Well, if you listen
to the
us,
show, everybody.
If you listen in double speed, it'll be perfect. I mean,
it'll be that 7:18, guys. Literally, right at 6 months away since the greatest president ever to grace the presidency in America took office, and boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah. Are we having fun yet or what? I'm telling you, we took 2 victory laps this week already and prepare for the third.
We got another one. We got another one, and Yeti will flash the graphic of hour 2. We're going to be reading from the Pandora's box right there, the ultimate unseen hand behind the New World Order. Hour 2 is premium. Get your premium today. It won't be on Facebook. It won't be on X. So go to rumble.com/MG Show and hit get premium and use code studio for 10% off, guys. Okay. Cause you also do it. Candles winning. Rudy Rooster. Good to talk to you this morning. Great to hear from you, my friend. And I hope all is well with you and the family. It was great to catch up.
I would like to add to your promo in regards to the premium section of the MG Show. The premium aspect of the MG Show is unlike most premium here on Rumble because it ties together. Currently, since the very beginning of our premium broadcast, we have been reading from the book that they just showed you there, the Pandora's Box. And so if you become a premium member, you don't have to go find the PDF. No. You can just go back to the beginning of our premium content and watch the premium episodes that we've already done and get caught up to speed and have the two of us not only read it, but pontificate about it in real time.
And I'd like to let you know, Pandora's Box is not Mike Gill's bullshit. All right? I'm just going to tell you that right now.
Thanks for the disclaimer.
We had him on the show, too. It's actually Q-proofs, okay? We're talking about the Pandora's political elite box, okay? This is what we're talking about. Q posted about Pandora twice. This right here, key domestic contracts for Phase 1 target projects, right? Pandora's political elite box. And this has to go with joint ventures with Hunter and Jim Biden. Wow, okay? These are the people that are actually working with Hunter and Jim Biden. And it's actually listed right here in Fox News link. But But this is what we're talking about. We're talking about Pandora's box, guys, and it is a doozy.
It really is. And so thank you guys so much for joining the premium. And man, also thank you for having for having a head on your shoulders and something between your ears by being able to navigate what has happened to us for the last month. This has been a 30-day operation, and I think that you are clearly seeing now, as of the events that we're going to talk about here in just a second, what happened yesterday, of how exactly Donald Trump wrings these people out like a sponge. And it looks like it goes all the way back to the moment that he brought them all up there to the White House to have this Epstein binder to walk out and prop it up. All of those people lost their minds to the point where Donald Trump had to come out and put them back into their place. And then now, Jeff, this happens yesterday, and now they act like this is what they were talking about.
Right. Yeah. So we'll get into that too, because it's huge. Rudy, thank you for the gift. Candle, thank you. I'm here for all the winning. Thank you, Rudy, for much love. It was great to catch up with y'all too. And Midnight's Watch here with my 17. Much love. Guys, so really, let's just go through this real quick, Shady, because this is amazing. Remember when we at the MG show went over the phases for the Epstein disclosure? Well, phase 3 has begun, but let's go back over what I'm talking about, okay? So this is the phases. This is a post that I did when, Shady Grove? February 27th, okay? Phase 1, easy to swallow, loss of power, influence. This is the binder gate, okay? This is the binder. We already had this information, right? This is the binders, easy to swallow.
But the people that got the information didn't know that we already had the information because they've never looked into Epstein one damn time.
Now, they should have loss of power and influence, okay? They should. So then phase 2 is at Jack getting nervous. All right, so who was the owner of Twitter?
Jack Dorsey.
What's it called today?
X.
And then now it's Elon. So getting nervous, phase 2. Was Twitter going batshit crazy?
Yes.
Was it? Was everybody getting nervous and freaking out?
Oh, no.
Yeah, they were. And then phase 3 will be, the next phase will bring justice. The hard part is coming to an end. The next phase will bring justice. So that's where we're at. We're at phase 3. Okay. So I also wrote, back then saying, this is, let me just go the next post. Everybody is complaining about how Epstein files, are being released, needs to chill. We were told how it would go down as we read Q. People are trying to create chaos and division, and we need to give space to let this happen. Patient we must be. Okay. And then let's look at what's happening now. We got karma, B. Right here, karma. All right. We got phase 3. Rep Anna Paula Luna called it phase 3. It's going to be a coup d'etat. Phase 3. Panic in D.C., rats everywhere. For those who decided to save the taxpayers some money, there's no escaping God. Okay? Ridiculous amount of publicity given to Epstein. Attorney Bondi is going to unseal. Okay? Coup d'etat. All right? Now, with that being said, there was no list. It's grand jury testimony. That's not a list. Okay? So these Muppets out there calling you guys idiots for following Donald J. Trump and waiting for news to unlock the map. We got another pesky Q proof, and that is right here, Shady Groove. As news unlocks the map, we get another pesky Q proof. On 7/17, President Trump, we are ready to move. This is from Pam Bondi. We are ready to move the court tomorrow to unseal the grand jury transcripts. Unseal. Seals. Where there was once darkness, there is now light. Sea to shining sea. Godspeed. Q.
So what's very important in that is what it says in that post. Read the post from Pam Bondi one more time, Jeff, please.
President Trump. We are ready to move the court tomorrow to unseal, which is sealed, the grand jury transcripts.
Okay. We are ready to move the court.
Move the court.
Move the court. Do you know what that means, Jeff? That means that the court is stuck. You know why the court is stuck? Because there is sealed grand jury information. Do you know who sealed it? That would be the judges that were presiding over the cases. So what you're basically telling me is these people are acting like this Epstein list that Donald Trump was hiding from us, that had the big list of pedophiles, is the testimony from the people who were accusing Epstein of having sex with them, and the judge that sealed it. That's the information that they'll need to get their grubby little hands on. Yep. And so now Pam Bondi is going to go out and she's going to go to the judges and she's going to request them to unseal it. You know what could happen? The judge could say no.
Yeah, and who is the judge appointed by? That's what we're going to find out. Is it the Democrats?
There you go. Exactly. It's going to open this up even more. And probably what's going to happen is that at least one, I think there's 4 judges that have different things sealed in different districts. I believe that there's one out west, one in New York, and a couple in Florida. Yeah. But one of them could say, okay, we'll unseal this. They could all say, no, we're not going to. And she really can't compel them and force them to unseal it. So this is a tug of war that you're seeing here between Trump and Bondi and the judges. This has nothing to do with the idiots that are screaming and yelling and calling you a pedophile protector because you're still supporting Donald Trump, i.e. Owen Schroyer, Alex Jones nuts, Health Ranger nuts, all you idiots out there following Laura Loomer and Steve Bannon. You all just got put on notice.
Yeah. Pretty interesting. Lincoln Logger, happy birthday. Appreciate that. So it's interesting, guys. I mean, now it's in their court. You are witnessing the destruction of the old guard, guys. And my next piece is called "Nothing Can Stop What Is Coming." Shady.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
So let's look at this too. We got Donald J. Trump on Truth Social at 8:33 p.m. Eastern time. This is the Wall Street Journal and Rupert Murdoch personally were warned directly by President Donald J. Trump that the supposed letter they printed by President Trump to Epstein was a fake, and if they print it, they will be sued. Mr. Murdoch stated that he would take care of it, but obviously did not have the power to do so. The editor of the Wall Street Journal, Emma Tucker, was told directly by Caroline Leavitt by President Trump that the letter was fake, but Emma Tucker didn't want to hear that. Instead, they're going with a false, malicious, and defamatory story anyway. President Trump will be suing the Wall Street Journal, News Corp, and Mr. Murdoch shortly. The press has to learn to be truthful and not to rely on sources that probably don't even exist. President Trump has already beaten George Stephanopoulos, ABC, 60 Minutes, CBS, and others, and it looks forward to suing and holding accountable the once great Wall Street Journal. It has truly turned out to be a disgusting and filthy rag, and writing defamatory lies like this shows their desperation to remain relevant. If there were any truth at all over the Epstein hoax, as it pertains to President Trump, this information would have been revealed by Comey, Brennan, Crooked Hillary, and other radical left lunatics years ago. It certainly would not have sat in a file waiting for Trump to have won 3 elections. This is yet another example of fake news. Reality is labeled as conspiracy. You are made to feel crazy. You are told to obey. You are sheep to them, pawns to be sacrificed. Remember, we are winning. Do not trust what you read. Mind warfare. Up is down, left is right. Boom. Q.
So, isn't it interesting that Nancy Pelosi was out there making comments on X yesterday about the Epstein files? Isn't that, that's so very interesting. It's almost like, call me a conspiracy guy. It's almost like a softening of the target occurred over the last month. It's almost like they sent out all of their right-wing minions that take all of their networks and spread all this Jewish hatred everywhere, and then act like they're the ones that are under the gun of all the Jewish hatred that's coming at them. Virtue signal after virtue signal. You send out all of these different people, and where are they going? Now all of a sudden they pivot to being concerned about Epstein. And now they're all concerned about Epstein. Now you're protecting a pedophile if you're supporting of Donald Trump. Get this. Do you understand what they just did? The Mossad, Jones, Flynn, cult network, whatever the hell you want to call it, just spent the last month softening the target of Donald Trump for this whole Epstein thing that the Wall Street Journal just dropped. This was all a setup. This was all to throw Epstein in Trump's face. He told you it was a hoax. And then all the people on our side are like, oh, how's it a hoax? How's it a hoax? How's it a hoax? Not understanding at all what the man is telling you. It's a psychological operation, and an enormous amount of idiots fell for it on our side because of people like Bannon, Jones, and Flynn.
Imagine that.
Wow. I mean, look at that, man. I mean, it's a coincidence that they're trying to say that Trump sent a letter to Epstein talking about keeping their little secret. And it's like, there's no letter. Can we have some sauce?
Right. So let's look at this, too, because this is based on the ridiculous amount of publicity given to Jeffrey Epstein. I have asked Attorney General Pam Bondi to produce any and all pertinent grand jury testimony subject to court approval. This scam perpetrated by the Democrats should end right now. All right. So what people don't realize, much of the material is subject to court-ordered sealing. Okay, guys, this is from the FBI. Nobody read it. All your little influencers sold them out. So this Trump's post attached to this DOJ statement, Pam Bondi, as Attorney General, could not unilaterally release the full Epstein files or related grand jury testimony, even if she wanted to, because significant portions of said material, particularly the sensitive evidence like victim-related content and grand jury records, are protected under a court-ordered seals or federal rules governing secrecy, such as Federal Rule of Criminal Procedure 6E, which keeps grand jury proceedings confidential unless a court authorizes disclosure. Trump's directive explicitly conditions the release of the court approval, and the DOJ's review emphasizes that much of the investigative holdings remain sealed to protect victims and avoid exposing illegal content, with only limited prior public disclosures from Epstein's unfinished trial. And then the recent developments show Bondi actively petitioning the courts to unseal additional grand jury transcripts in response to Trump's order. But this process confirms the need for judicial intervention rather than an independent action by AG Bondi. Does everybody understand that before you see everybody saying that Bondi sucks or scam Blondie or throwing her under the bus? Everybody gets it now. As news unlocks the map, and as we get more information, you need to understand this, Shady.
We told you this. Give us a 47 if we told you this, that the information was under seal. We said this. Did Bannon say that? Did Badlands Media say that? Did any of these other people that were attacking Donald Trump, did they tell you the truth? Why is it so hard? The reason it's so hard, Shady, is because if they tell you the truth, then there's no clicks.
Yeah.
That's why it's so hard. Yeah. Because if they tell you the truth, then there's no story. That's why it's so hard. If they tell you the truth, then that means that Donald Trump would be winning even more. That's why they don't tell you the truth. Because their objective is actually to weaken him, and it's to weaken you. Okay, that's the reason that Fox News is doing nothing but talking about Democrats. They're not talking about a single thing that Donald Trump has done to win. And that's including you, Jesse. You know, putting out all this Democrat stuff about Newsom and this guy in New York. And then yesterday, it's a whole nother slew. You're talking about Obamas. Who gives a bleep about the Obamas? Obamas are no freaking body. Look what Donald Trump is doing. He's literally renegotiating bilateral trade agreements with every single country on earth in your interest, meaning that it's interesting to you to realize that you're going to win in a trade negotiation, because none of you have been alive and won in a trade negotiation ever. I'm sorry, unless you're like 120 years old. You've not been alive and won in a trade negotiation ever until Donald Trump took office, until his first term. Now he's doing the exact same thing again. But the thing is, the Rand Pauls of the world, the Thomas Masseys of the world, are the exact same as the Tucker Carlsons and the Alex Joneses of the world. And the church, the Jesuit order, all of the cartel, all of this stuff is exactly the same. You have just been tricked into thinking it's all different.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy. We're just trying to cut through the fog, just like all you guys as well.
I said yesterday that the secret societies are trying to start World War III on Twitter because they've got no other place to go.
Yeah.
They can't do it in Ukraine. They've not been able to do it in Israel. They've not been able to do it in Iran. Why? Because Trump has cut them off at every opportunity. You can't create World War III whenever you don't have a boogeyman state standing there acting like they're going to lob nuclear weapons at you.
Yeah.
There's no threat.
And by the way, you got to be careful what you wish for. Check this out, Shady.
Saying release of files now. Why didn't the Biden administration, why didn't Merrick Garland release the files from 21 to 25? And if they didn't release the files then, why should they be released now?
You asked some excellent question.
Well, we never had a full-blown investigation, which is what, we were demanding.
That's not an answer.
State Congressman, you could have gotten that from 21 to 25 when Democrats controlled the DOJ. Why? It was a crisis then. It's a crisis now.
It's a good point.
Why didn't Democrats call for it from 21 to 25?
So, you'd have to go back and look specifically at particular prosecutorial decisions.
I don't know what I said. I don't remember.
Go back and look specifically at particular prosecutorial decisions.
What an idiot.
And what was taking place in terms of the other cases. So I don't know. We could try to reconstruct that record.
That's a non-answer.
Wow.
Looks like somebody's panicking in D.C., don't they? And by the way, kudos, Scarborough, for those questions. That was a great interview. Wow. Yeah. How's your intern?
Yeah, not doing well, I hear. Still buried. Well, isn't it interesting how he's standing there looking like a deer in the headlights, a lot like all these alternative, quote-unquote, influencers that we got over here. Huh?
Yeah.
Calling us Muppets.
Wow. That was, what's his name?
Cernovich,
yeah. So it's like, we were right, blah, 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 blah. No, you weren't.
No, you weren't. There's no list. Just like we said, there is no list, and there will not be a list. Trust me, somebody wake Shady whenever the goofy right-wing influencers produce a list that they were saying that Donald Trump was hiding that he somehow now produced.
Yeah.
Because they can't, because they won't. They're moving the goalposts like Democrats.
Yeah.
Oh, Flynn's going to be the VP. Oh, no. See, I told you he was going to be parking cars at West Point.
Yeah, we even said that. We said, bookmark this post. Flynn won't be in the administration. By the way, I should go get my thing from Ben, right? Ben Moore, Sun Tzu. He said, what are you going to do when he's in the administration? I go, what are you going to do when he's not in the administration?
What Ranklin is doing.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to do. This is the question. You were asking him the question, what are you going to do when General Flynn isn't? And the reason you were asking him that question is because you knew the answer. Cause chaos. Mm-hmm. Be an agent provocateur. Insert fake narratives, make things up, pretend like you're concerned about things that you aren't. Bald-faced lie.
Yeah.
Like a psyop would.
17 Patriots True says, I'm called a Q-tard on Mossad InfoWars chats. I'm proud of Q and Q+. Yeah.
We speak for you. This is the reason this show exists. The reason this show exists is because literally there is no counter to what we are doing here. There's not another show out there that is bringing the heat to Alex Jones and all of these military-industrial complex operators. All of the other shows out there bring them on the air and give them a platform to spew their propaganda.
Yeah.
Which we did, too. We did it for the first couple of years, too, because we thought that we were doing the right thing by participating with General Flynn. We thought we were doing the right thing by helping a patriot.
Yeah.
We learned our lesson well.
Yeah, it is. And, we're just trying to figure. So this Epstein thing is really a plan to uproot President Trump's economic gains, guys. Okay. The things that he's doing to the deep state, folks, to the deep state financial system. I think we have Q proofs. The Rothschilds owned and controlled Federal Reserve banks across the world. And your President Trump just sent letters to almost all of them. I mean, guys, that is a huge proof.
You could see this in a simple manner. Donald Trump is doing currently to those central banks what he did to the mainstream media. Whenever the mainstream media was a problem, he created Q and he started talking directly to you, the American people, and said, look at this. What the hell do you think about this? Well, now what he's doing is he's stepping away from the Fed, and he went right to Bahrain. And he said, I don't like this deal that we got here where we can't sell you stuff. He went to Indonesia. We can't sell you stuff. That's a terrible deal. Let's go away from that deal and let's make a new deal. Back channel, work around. Does that look familiar to you?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Really does.
And guys, don't forget, go to MG Show on Rumble, rumble.com/MG Show. Get your premium. We are reading Pandora's box, guys, and you're not going to want to miss it. Pandora's box graphic is up right now, and it's the ultimate unseen hand behind the New World Order. You're not going to want to miss it. And it's talking about railroads. So what deal did Trump just stop in California, Shady?
It was he just stopped us from having to pay billions of dollars for a high-speed railroad.
Railroad?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And he said there's probably a lot of money laundering within those contractors.
I was getting ready to say, it's like it's similar to what they used to do, except at one point in time, they would actually put the rails down and build the infrastructure and then steal what was left.
Yeah.
They didn't like steal all of it and not do any work.
It's crazy. Yeah, you know, it's really great. High speed rail. That's right. Shift into high. And you guys are amazing. You know, so we are really just understanding what's going on. And the Promethean Action, we've been highlighting them here and there. I want to play a little bit of this one. This is how the Britain's ambassador plans to destroy Trump's economic revolution. And it does tie to Epstein, Shady.
Yeah, and I've got some commentary about this one.
All right. You tell me when you want to stop.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Don't stop. Don't. Stop. Don't.
Believing.
Stop believing. All right, here we go.
Oh!
Something Steve Bannon, Charlie Kirk, and Tucker Carlson haven't told you about Jeffrey Epstein. That while Epstein was serving time on his first conviction in 2009, Lord Peter Mandelson stayed at his house. Mandelson is the current British ambassador to the United States and was part of Tony Blair's political machine when he was prime minister.
And keep in mind, Shady, let's look at this article. Links between Peter Mandelson and Jeffrey Epstein detailed in J.P. Morgan report, okay? Keep in mind J.P. Morgan, because this is going to be important for hour number 2, Shady.
Because we're going to be talking about J.P. Morgan and making a connection that the Jeffrey Epstein saga could be directly related to the economic wins that Donald Trump is actually accruing because he's fighting the true enemy, which is the Federal Reserve and the bloodline families of J.P. Morgan and such.
Ding, 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 ding.
I got it right.
Yes, sir.
British ambassador to the United States and was part of Tony Blair's political machine when he was prime minister. That should begin to give you a little more insight into how all of the sound and fury about the Epstein files is
We just need to do a little something about the nose hairs. I'm just going to say, Shady, I just can't.
obscuring a much deeper battle that is going on. Most people think that the Epstein story is just about sex trafficking and compromising politicians and billionaires with underage girls. Well, that's certainly part of it. But if you're fixated on that, you'll miss Trump's
I just saw what you did, Shady.
Because the real battle is Donald Trump's commitment to free the United States from the empire's control which is exercised with the classic imperial tools of war and money. Epstein wasn't just running a blackmail operation. He was a key financial player in maintaining British imperial banking domination in the world. This is Susan Kokinda, and 1 year ago today, I was on the floor of the Republican convention in Milwaukee as part of the Michigan delegation, where I was privileged to watch Donald Trump launch his triumphant march to a second term as president. With over 50 years of political organizing against the modern-day British Empire under my belt, I can tell you that those 4 days in July, coming just after Trump's miraculous escape from assassination, marked a turning point in history. Now add to that a recently released interview with Russian President Putin, and you'll see emerging the potential for a coming world in which nations are sovereign, economically and strategically, and in which empires, today's globalists, are relegated to the dustbin of history. So in this midweek update, I'm going to look at 3 critical developments. How Putin's recent comments about the British and French empires provide the necessary context for understanding Trump's latest moves on Ukraine. Epstein's role as a financial player in maintaining British imperial banking domination, and Trump's political and economic counteroffensive. So let's start with Putin's comments that provide some crucial context for what Trump is doing. In a recently released interview, Putin dropped an observation about one of the most important elements of post-World War II history. He said, in some former colonial empires like Britain or France, they consider us responsible for the collapse of their colonial empires. And this historical negativity persists. The fact is, after World War II, the United States, along with Russia in some ways, worked toward the destruction of these empires and worked to assist the colonies in getting their independence and sovereignty. Now, that's the same outlook that Franklin Roosevelt had for the post-war period, an outlook which was sabotaged when British puppet Harry Truman instead threw America's might in with the British imperial and geopolitical schemes instead. And Putin kept coming back to the geopolitical underpinnings of how Russia was treated and lied to in the post-Soviet period. And he made clear that only sovereignty will protect Russia. He said, it became clear that until we assert ourselves as an independent sovereign power capable of defending our future, we will not be respected. Now, Trump understands that, and he's approached the question of settling the Ukraine war from the standpoint of treating Russia as a sovereign nation with legitimate interests, not as a perpetual enemy to be threatened and challenged. Look at his big announcement on Monday from that standpoint. It's not a capitulation to the neocons or a betrayal of its base. It's an attempt to end the bloodletting by setting a deadline which is actually being echoed by some in Russia, and shifting the payments for weapons deliveries to Ukraine onto the backs of the Europeans, who are the ones who are still pushing Ukraine to continue the war. Now, of course, the British press played their typical role of trying to heighten the US-Russia tensions by taking recent leaked Trump quotes out of context, as this BBC headline shows. But the White House yesterday shut that down, and Trump himself responded to the BBC's prodding that he is done with Putin with a hard no.
Who names their news organization BBC, Shady? Just me and my BBC.
This is my BBC.
Oh, God.
And said, no, I'm not done with him. Russia also took aim at the real culprit with this TASS headline. As for the other side of Trump's big announcement, the threat of potential secondary sanctions against Russia.
Did you notice that headline? Titanic and derail. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
Yeah. Titanic efforts being made to derail Russia-U.S. dialogue.
Get us off the rail because we've been on the rail too long.
Yep. Titanic. More than just a love story.
The threat of potential secondary sanctions against Russia's trading partners, which is being pushed by perpetual war hawk Senator Graham. Look at what is actually happening. Yesterday, Senate Majority Leader John Thune put Graham's Russian sanctions package on the back burner. He said, it sounds like right now the president is going to attempt to do some of this on his own. If at some point the president concludes that it makes sense and adds value and leverage that he needs to keep in those negotiations to move the bill, then we'll do it. In other words, let Trump be Trump. And as for all the chatter that Trump has capitulated to the neocons and the globalists, why did Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth cancel all Pentagon participation at the Aspen Security Forum, with the Pentagon explicitly citing concerns about globalist influence? The elite British press is playing a major role at Aspen. The Financial Times, which just tried to blow up US-Russian tensions, is moderating 5 panels. And The Economist, the mouthpiece for the City of London, is moderating 4. So now let's talk about the deeper significance of Jeffrey Epstein. Barbara Boyd, Mike Benz, and others have documented his role as a British intelligence asset. And unless you've been living under a rock, you know about his perversions. But I want to look at his financial career from a different standpoint, how he was embedded in the unraveling of the U.S. economy in the decades following the 1971 decision to take the dollar off the gold reserve standard. That ending of the post-war Bretton Woods system led to successive waves of bank deregulation that then opened the door to the speculative booms and busts of the 80s and 90s, and then the big one in 2008. Over that period, the traditional American commercial banking system was destroyed and replaced by the equivalent of a financial parasite, which was directed by the City of London and Wall Street. Epstein was in the middle of all of that. From 2000 to 2007, he was president of Liquid Funding Limited, an early innovator in mortgage-backed securities and other exotic derivatives. His company was partly owned by Bear Stearns, one of the most notorious players in this wild west of speculative bubbles. And between them, they helped ignite the 2008 financial crisis. And here's where Lord Mandelson comes in. According to a J.P. Morgan report, written to cover their own asses on their relationship to Epstein. Mandelson and Epstein were in touch with each other on matters relating to the Federal Reserve in 2008 and on later congressional debates on the Dodd-Frank bill and the Volcker rule, both of which led to a continuation of the speculators' regime. Here's the relevant section of the J.P. Morgan report. Quote, can Jess, Staley of J.P. Morgan, send me an email on issues Ray Dodd's Volcker? This was from Peter Mandelson to Epstein in 2010. And not only that, Mandelson stayed in Epstein's home when Epstein was serving time for his first conviction. Epstein was part and parcel of the network of British-run influencers who use money, connections, and sex to
Not
maintain
like
their
Bannon
central
and
bank-run
crew.
grip on the United States.
None of these people are British
Now
run
Mandelson is
influencers. None of these people that you've been watching or Tavistock, none of these people were there before. No, Cernovich, no. They didn't take any of that Israeli Mossad money. No, Alex Jones is not associated with Strat 4. He wasn't literally, InfoWars is another way to say psychological operation. Do you guys understand the depth and the breadth? The reason that they had to kill Bill Cooper is because he was making inroads in exposing these people. What Bill Cooper was doing was exposing these people in a very unique way, much like what MG Show does, but in a way also that got him the attention of the federal government. The federal government, i.e., who brings you people like Comey and Strzok and Lisa Page and a number of others in the FBI. You have InfoWars being run as a government propaganda operation straight from the jump. Bill Cooper was standing up against that and creating a different voice in the room so that the only alternative voice to what was going on was InfoWars. You have to understand this. There's a reason that this show is here. And the reason that we are here is because no one else is telling you the truth. Everybody else is telling you a narrative. They're telling you what it is that they want you to believe because they have an interest in you never finding the truth. And the truth is that they're all controlled influencers. They are not reporting the news. What tells you that MG Show might be reporting the news would be the amount of hate that we get from the left and the right is pretty equal.
You know, it's interesting you say that, Shady Grove, because I'm going to take a break and just play this real quick. You ready? I mean, let me go into... Wait, it's in this over here. So, you know, we do get a lot of hate. We get a lot of hate from the left and from the right, don't we?
We do.
And is it, you were just mentioning who? Bill Cooper?
Yep.
Huh. That's interesting that you mentioned that, Shady Grove. Because I was kind of just going through some of my photos and stuff like that, you know, and just, you know, I like to do that every now and again to see if I'm missing anything. And I came across this. Check it out.
I call the shots as they are. I tell you the truth no matter who it hurts or helps, even if it hurts me. And oh, how you hate it. Oh, how you hate to hear the truth. The man who tells the truth is universally disliked by every person. Because every person has an agenda and is hiding behind a fantasy which the truth penetrates like an arrow and leaves him stripped naked before the whole universe. And he does not like that. But yet it must be. For a great man once said, my leader once said, seek ye the truth, and the truth will make you free.
What do you think of that, Shady?
I think that it is a great standard to live by. I think that without him, I wouldn't be here. I know that to be true. I know that to be true because the questions that I asked so long ago, personally, my personal journey, the questions that I was asking as I was learning this stuff, he was answering without me asking because he was saying things that led me to play. I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't have that resource. And then you go and you start to dig into it. Oh, I didn't understand that. Oh, one thing leads to another. But what Bill Cooper was doing also, that people don't realize is he was fighting the psychological operations on a radio show every single week. He was broadcasting every single week somewhere on his own network, and also going out to places like Alan Handelman and Coast to Coast and a number of other different conspiracy type shows that would invite him on. And he would go in there and he would talk about stuff, and he would take telephone calls, and he would interact with the audience, and he would not shy away from the people that wanted to criticize him, Jeff.
Yeah.
I'm not shying away from these people that want to criticize me. They've all blocked me. They block me, then criticize me, and then, like, after I block them, they go back and then take the picture of me blocking them act like
their MO. It's so
right.
stupid.
So if Flynn could stand up to my scrutiny, why does he need to block me? All you would have to do, we got a short list of some simple questions, man. And I'm telling you right now that can't answer those questions without stumbling and fumbling and looking like an idiot. So it's easier to block us and to pipe up and down those eyebrows than it is to stand up and face the scrutiny. I thought that iron sharpens iron. I thought that if we were all working together, we could get to the truth. If General Flynn is innocent, then by goodness, why doesn't he proclaim it?
Yeah. Why did he lie to President Trump?
Why does he lie to all of us every single day and act like he's using that money to help fight sex trafficking? Somebody showed me a victim that Liz Crokin or Sun Tzu or any of these idiots has helped. There's no victim that they've helped. They're just stealing money.
And it's also a virtue signal to keep them safe because we're helping the kids.
Oh, you're a pedophile. You're a pedophile if you don't like us. Exactly like these people are saying right now under Health Ranger, where I'm pushing back at him. Oh, now if I'm a Trump supporter, I'm a pedophile protector. Well, that's exactly what they did to us in the very beginning, trying to like insinuate stuff about shoes that somebody's wearing and cults, and trying to say that we were associated with all this when we're clearly not associated with any of that. We're just trying to talk to people that are interested in what we're saying. It's not our fault who people are that are interested in what we're saying.
Yeah. It's crazy, guys.
This has been a crazy freaking month, man. I mean, I cannot believe what we have seen over this last 30 days, from Tucker Carlson to Marjorie Taylor Greene. They're like Jack in the Boxes. They're still going. None of them are stopping. Tucker Carlson goes over and interviews the president guy of Iran. Like, that guy has any relevance. Guess what, buddy? He doesn't have any, he's not a threat. Oh, please. What can we do to capitulate? You're an idiot. This is not George W. Bush. This is not the sands of Iraq. And this is definitely not 2003.
Shady, I got Liz Crokin on the phone. She wants to address you.
Oh, please Liz don't. Crokin, at least bring
Let's don't play that again.
Some kind of big D energy.
Thank you. I appreciate you not playing.
I mean, who's following that crap? A drunk Liz Crokin who has a brain damage from a disease called hairpiece.
I made a comment to the person that was holding that space. I was like, damn, was that your space that Liz Crokin was flipping out? He's like, she wasn't flipping out. I'm like, oh.
She wasn't?
Okay, then. Well, so you approve of that content, I assume.
She wasn't flipping out.
It was normal behavior.
Normal behavior.
Exactly.
All right, so let's go back to this real quick because it's pretty good. Check it out.
The British ambassador to the United States. This is a lot bigger than blackmailing politicians, as disgusting and criminal as those activities are. Now, put this in another light. The well-sourced John Solomon said that the FBI has quietly launched an investigation into a decade of Democratic Party and deep state antics, from Russian collusion to Jack Smith, opening the door for the appointment of a special prosecutor to examine whether the well-documented episodes amount to a criminal conspiracy to meddle in 3 elections to the benefit of the Democrats and the detriment of President Donald Trump. This runs the full gamut of deep state activities, which will prove more about the inner workings of the deep state than a list of Epstein's clients. This is why Trump's fight with Fed Chairman Jerome Powell is so significant. While Charlie Kirk and his friends were in their Epstein frenzy this weekend, Trump unleashed his key economic advisors in a frontal assault against Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell. Whether it was Treasury Secretary Bessent and Peter Navarro, pounding on Powell's refusal to lower interest rates and on the Fed's tariff derangement syndrome, or OMB had Russ Vought blowing the whistle on the Versailles on the Mall Fed remodeling scandal, or the head of Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, putting out an official statement hoping for Powell's resignation. The battle lines have been drawn. Imagine if Powell quit and Donald Trump had a Federal Reserve head who would partner with him. Having a cooperating Fed chair is critical to Trump's economic revolution, which, despite the current sabotage from the Fed, is accelerating in a breathtaking way. Manufacturing jobs are returning, energy production is surging, and we see the beginnings of a real industrial renaissance. Trump and his economic team celebrated that yesterday in Pennsylvania at the Energy and Innovation Summit. President Trump and Senator David McCormick heralded the announcement of $92 billion in new energy and industry investments in Pennsylvania. Treasury Secretary Besant declared the Rust Belt is no more, and nuclear energy was front and center, with Westinghouse announcing that it will build 10 new modern nuclear power plants over the next 10 years and create 15,000 jobs in southwestern Pennsylvania. This is what the imperial elite fear the most: the United States of builders and the emergence of a new alliance of producers and workers that will redefine the political landscape. Brandon Bishop of the National Building Trades spoke to this summit, declaring,
Mr. President, it's an honor to be here today representing North America's building trades unions and our 3 million members, especially the thousands of highly skilled workers across Pennsylvania who are ready to deliver on all of the historic investments being announced here today. All the projects discussed here today aren't just about energy and innovation, they're about job creation. And all of us in the building trades stand ready to deliver. If you want the highest quality, most productive, long-term labor certainty, partner with us from day one. Don't just build with us, stay with us and maintain it for decades.
That alliance of builders, producers, and workers is the American system. And that is what the City of London and the global financier elite have been trying to stamp out for over 200 years. Peter Navarro recently did a beautiful series of posts on the American system. He said, the early GOP was the party of tariffs and industry. From Lincoln to McKinley and into the 20th century, the Republican Party fought for American workers. Trump has revived that GOP, reconnecting it to its pro-worker, pro-sovereignty roots. And then he said, the American system is about building things in America, by Americans and for Americans. It's about using tariffs to protect our industries, investing in infrastructure to move our goods, and creating a national bank to finance our growth. Did you notice that? Creating a national bank to finance our growth? That would be a stake through the heart of the British central banking system.
Unbelievable.
And the British elite and their ambassador Mandelson.
That ends it. That ends it.
That ends it right there, Shady. It's exactly what we've been talking about, isn't it?
It's exactly what we've been talking about. It's exactly what we want, and it has absolutely nothing to do with Marjorie Taylor Greene pulling her hair out yesterday on Steve Bannon screaming about central banking digital currency.
Oh, my God.
She's losing her mind over this stuff and acting like, oh, this is what Donald Trump is doing to Steve Bannon. Then Carly and all these other people out there amplifying it like it's something to be afraid of. These people, listen, these people that are standing, even Marjorie, like, you know, they act like they understand. Like, these people have never taken 3 seconds to understand one damn thing that has to do with economics or finances or the American system or the history of the system or the idea that the dollar is only worth a penny. That's the truth. This is the truth. When the Federal Reserve started, the dollar was worth 100 pennies. 110 years ago, the dollar was worth 100 pennies. Whatever the pennies were worth, the dollar was worth 100 of them.
Yeah.
Now the dollar is worth 1 penny. Yeah. 1 penny.
And then
of a dollar.
And then I get messages from my friend Eric, God bless him, saying, you used to like Marjorie Taylor Greene. I used to like her. I don't care, you know. And then, oh, you used to do this. You used to like that. It doesn't matter who we used to like. It's when we receive new information, we change our mind. It's called evolution of knowledge, Shady Groove. And Sweet as Caroline says Marjorie's a fraud. I think she was reeing and getting people all worked up. And guess whose show she went on? Bannon's. Yeah.
Yeah. And guess who invites her? And guess who's over there doing it again today? You know, they're acting like do you notice if anybody watching him, he never talks about anything to do with Trump's financial wins.
No.
Let me tell you something. You know who loses? Jeff, do you remember, you know all those statues that sit there like this? That circle the Vatican?
Yeah. Pay me.
Why are they holding their hands out?
Pay me, sir.
Pay me, sir. Where's Steve Bannon hail from?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, same source.
Probably, yeah. I mean, he was a Navy officer. Intelligence.
He trust me, he bends the knee to the Jesuits.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I'm referring to. The secret societies, the people that are running the numbnut narratives are the secret societies among us that are embedded bloodline agents.
Yeah.
Agent provocateur. Okay? Most human beings don't wake up in the morning and have a bunch of agent provocateurs. Most of us don't. Most of us don't wake up in the morning and want war. But the elite knows something very specific. To get war, you can't get there without some agent provocateurs in the system. You're going to need some people to kind of push people and move things, like stuff that happened in January 6th, maybe an Antifa or an Enrique Tarrio or a Dominic Pizzolo, or you just need a little nudging, If you look at the source where the nudging comes from, you'll always end up in the same location on Earth.
Yeah. Nudging. And you'll be a curmudgeon.
The gong.
Oh,
You're
my
almost
God.
ready to go.
That's the stop yelling at people gong.
I thought they paid me to yell at them. 17 if you want Shady to keep yelling.
Oh, my God. Where's my 47?
Yeah,
47. I'm going to get 47.
No, you can't count for me. I already inserted the poison pill. 17!
47.
Oh, Shady, go!
No, 47. Don't forget, guys, we're going into Rumble Premium after our counseling session.
We might even bring the counseling session live.
We got an 18.
Oh, that's a misfire.
We got a 1747 because, they love us. They love us both.
They don't want to see us arguing.
No. We love you guys. Thank you so much. But we're going to be going to Rumble Premium, guys. And Rumble Premium does help this show, just like your Rumble Ranch, just like EMP donating a subscription, Ross Pure, Cupid's Cowgirl. Thank you for the subscription donations. That puts a red castle on people. That means they're not naked. We don't like naked people in here.
Yes.
Yeah. So in 3 minutes, we'll be going to Rumble Premium, guys. But I'm telling you, there's so many different posts of Q. I want to just real quick do another one. This is why are people giving publicity to files written by Obama, Crooked Hillary, Coney, Brennan, and the losers and criminals of the Biden administration? Scope exceeds illegal spy campaign. Okay. The 51 intelligence agencies, the laptop from hell, and more. What other investigations same team touched alter outcome? Okay. Hillary Clinton, Christopher Steele dossier. Whoa. How, again, with the blue, how are other investigations bridged to illegal spy campaign? Do you see that this is all connected, Shady Grove? Everything is connected. It's bigger than you can imagine. There is a reason why this was leaked. There's the election infection cannot stop what is coming, and thank God it didn't, Shady Grove.
Yeah, thank God it didn't. And thank all of you. Thank all of you for standing up in a spot where nobody else stood up. You can clearly see now that nobody else stood up in the spot that we are all standing up, and we are occupying a space on our own that no one else will occupy. And that is the space where not only are we reporting to you what it is that's happening, but we're going to, just like Jeff says, as we get new information, we might think something different tomorrow than we thought today. Oh, yeah. My God. You might grow a little bit. You might learn something new and expand your thinking.
You might get on some list.
Might get on somebody's list.
Mickey DP, thank you so much. We don't have any... let me see. Do we have any ad reads? Let me just go double check real quick before we get out of here. And then we're going to go right to campaigns, Blockbuster. Nope, we don't got nothing.
So I wanted to just basically tell everybody out there that what the associations that we're making on this broadcast have a lot to do with the everyday news cycle. And next week on Friday, I think that it's possible that we could have at least a portion of it, maybe all of it, brought to everybody on the platform.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you
I think
guys
we're
so
going to
much.
finish our 5 hours today.
We got to go over 0.10.
We're over 0.10. Or we have to keep Yeti a little bit longer.
No.
Yeah. Henry.
Ah! Oh my God. All right. So in 3 seconds, 3, 2, 1, see a Rumble Premium. Hit the button.
Much love.
The MG Show. Not funded by dark money, but funded by listeners like you.
This post was used twice, as our fine patriots are saying. And while we do that, this is the post, the second one, 3594. Finally be strong in the Lord and his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Therefore, put on the full armor of God so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. And after you have done everything to stand, stand firm then, with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, with the breastplate of righteousness in place, and with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. In addition to all this, take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of spirit, which is the word of God. Prepare for God and country, for humanity. We fight. Q. Do not fear.